Hey guys, Morgan here, and today I'm going to be doing a con survival guide. I'm pretty much just going to be talking about things I do at cons that help me make it through the weekend or the day or whatever. Alright, so I've made a small list about the things I think that everybody should bring to a convention. To help them get through the weekend con. I already said this in the last clip, but going over it again. So I think I didn't write this down because I just barely thought of it, but the biggest thing to remember to bring is your badge or like ticket into the con, because a lot of the cons will charge you if you want to get a ticket in, like if you need to get a replacement ticket, which is not the best thing. I know a few cons are like 25, some can go up to like 50 depending on the ticket price and what kind of tickets they are, because if they're like the RFID things, those are more pricey to get in. Alrighty, so sorry about that last clip. I popped my wrist and it kind of hurt and scared me, and that was actually great. All what's going on. Alrighty. So what I was saying is that like the more expensive the con is, the if you lose your badge, the more likely it is for it to cost more to replace it. Hello, my children. My cats are over here by me, and they're great children. So just always remember your badge. Like, if you are staying, I keep just getting distracted by this little hole in my desk. If you are, like, last year I was up at Anime Oasis in Boise, and I live in Utah, so I was up at the hotel up there, and I just forgot my, badge in the in my hotel room, so I just went right upstairs and grabbed it. But oh my god, people's cars keep scaring me. But if you don't, I'm gonna try and adjust this. There we go. But if you live somewhere else, like none of the cons are around my house. A lot of them are up in up like 60 miles north, and so I have to travel for those. But like, if I were to forget them, I would have to come all the way back home, and that's an inconvenience, and I would always remember to bring those. That kind of leads me into my next thing, a bag. I always bring bags to cons. Some of them are really big, like I have a backpack that's this size, it's about like this wide, but like this long. I used to bring that to cons, but then it kind of got dirty, and I was like, I'm just gonna find me another bag. So I found me another bag, and it was about, I think, $20. It's like a small duffel bag, like it's not huge. Like, I would not suggest bringing a huge bag unless you have a place to store it throughout the day, because whenever I have huge bags, my shoulders get super sore after I'm carrying that bag around all day. It's not a fun time. But like with the bag, I normally keep my badge in the bag. Like after I get home or I'm on my way home, I take off my badge and put it into my bag, because I don't want to forget it, and then I know it's right there with me. So yeah, and some things I keep in my bag is if you if you wear makeup, like I do 99.9% of the time at a con, always bring like extra makeup, because sometimes things throughout the day will ruin your makeup. Like if it's a hot con in the summer, it can, like, your foundation can sweat off. Like I never really bring foundation with me, but if it's hot, I will. And eyelash glue is a big thing that I always bring whenever I'm wearing lashes. Also, eyelash glue can save you in certain instances because I would forget my, I would, like, a little piece would break off my cosplay and I just, like, use eyelash glue to keep it on temporarily because it's hard to remember. Super glue. And then, wig caps are another thing because I am always the person that, like, if someone needs something, I will help them and give something to them. Like, this last con I went to, it wasn't really, like, a con, it was, like, a get-together thing. But I was borrowing a wig from a wig from a friend, and actually, all of us forgot to bring a wig cap, and so I had to message my friend, and I was like, hey, can you bring me a wig cap? Like, have you left your house? And she's like, no, and I'm like, can you bring me a wig cap, because I need a wig cap? And she's like, yeah, I can do that, and then later we found out there was a wig cap in the bag, and I'm like, but I just don't want to see someone else have that problem. And wig caps are super inexpensive. They're like $5 for like a 3-pack or something. I mean, not too much, but I mean, you can spare one if you have an extra one. Another thing is money for food. I cannot stress this enough. Food is super important at cons because normally when you're at home, you can just walk in your kitchen. My kitchen's right there. I could walk into my kitchen and get food. But at cons, it's harder to do that. And if you have a friend that you know can pay for your food and they don't mind, then, like, that's okay. Like, if you've made arrangements for them. But, like, if it's just going to be you paying for food, you need to bring money. Because I have had so many friends, like, not have money for food. And them just, like, go throughout the day, like, hungry, and so I have to be like, hey, do you want me to buy you some food? And they're like, yes, please. So I always make sure that my friends have food, because food is important. You need food to live. Also need to drink water so you don't get dehydrated and pass out, because that's not good either. It's just little things that you have to remember, and yeah. Another thing with the food, a lot of the cons I go to, I don't know if this is different for other states or whatever, they allow, like, granola bars and, like, little things of water and stuff, so you don't die throughout the day. Because I'm one of those people that, like, if I'm hungry, if I'm hungry but I'm not hungry enough to eat a whole meal, I want to eat, like, a granola bar or something, but I don't want to go down the street to buy me a whole box of granola bars for, like, 2 seconds. You know? So, like, a lot of the cons I go to, they allow that stuff because they understand, and most of the time it's just not a big problem. So the next thing is small sewing kits. Like, I personally don't have one, but I know that, but a lot of the cons I go to do have a cosplay repair station, which I know a lot of cons do. So if you do, like, tear a piece off your cosplay or something falls apart, you can go there and be like, hey, can I get this fixed? And they will sew it for you or that stuff, but some cons don't have that. So I suggest having a small kit. I used to have one. It came with, like, a little, like, container, a little bigger than that. And it had, like, small little different things of thread and stuff, just in case, like, you, forgot, like, if something ripped in it, you just can fix it up real quick. It came with extra buttons as well, and stuff like that. Like, I got mine for, like, $1 dollar store. Saves lives. And just stuff like this. Another thing, this isn't really for the con, it's but kind of getting to the con. I mean, it can be at some cons, but I've never had this happen, but I know some people have. Just protection, because there are, like, people that can, like, try and, like, if you're I have a story about this. So, Salt Lake Comic Con 2017, I was with someone and we were both wearing matching cosplays. Like, we were doing the cheer set from Love Live. And this guy came up and like wrapped his, like, he's like, hey, can we get a picture with you? And we're like, yeah, sure. And so he like gets in the middle of us and then like wraps his arms around our waist, like grabbing onto us really tight. And it made both of us feel super uncomfortable. Like we were showing off a lot of skin, like our skirts weren't that long and stuff, and so we were just really uncomfortable. But like if stuff were like that were to go like escalate, that's when you would need the protection of sorts. Like a lot of people, it's just friends. Friends will be like, hey, let's just go somewhere else. Like, giving you an excuse to go somewhere else is also a great idea. Saying that, like, pretend, like, having a friend, like, text you and be like, hey, we have to go, like, or something like that. Just any escape route that you can out of those situations, because I know that they can get really uncomfortable and sometimes can escalate really quickly, and it's just not a good thing. The last one kind of goes with this last one, is friends. I personally think, well, a lot of people think that cons go better with friends because, like, they can be your protection, or they can, if you're needing it, they can be, of, like, support. Like, if something, like, happened, they can make sure, like, that you're okay, tell you that everything's gonna be okay. They can, like, buy food for you, like, give you some brownies or something. Just, like, friends are really fun to go to cons with, and they make the con so much more enjoyable, for me and a lot of other people. Like, at Salt Lake Comic Con 2016, I had a gold pass, which means I get an hour earlier than everybody else, and I didn't, like, none of my other friends had one. And so I was just sitting downstairs all alone, like, on my phone, texting them and being like, hey, where are you guys? Like, I'm alone. I need someone here. And it's just, cons are so much better with people. It's fun. You can meet new friends, too. It's just, always bring, like, friends. Another thing that I didn't write down but is super important, make sure that you're comfortable, because cons can be really miserable if you aren't comfortable. Like, I have a pair of heels that didn't have any inserts. Like, they were heeled boots, and like heels like this, but like there was no like cushioning in the sole, so it was very uncomfortable. I absolutely hated it. But like I bought some inserts and stuck them in there, and they were great. They're comfortable now, and I absolutely love them. It's just, plan your cosplays ahead. My cat is biting a box. Plan your cosplays ahead. Make sure that you have everything that will make the cosplay as comfortable for you as possible. Don't do any cosplays that are out of your like comfort zone and stuff like that. So I think that's all I have to say. So yeah, bye.